When Blizzard announced that they were no longer going to release their single-player content for free and were going back to the premium model they explored with their early adventures, I was kind of bummed, mostly because I'm massively broke and can't really afford to pay money for content, but also because I wasn't sure how Blizzard was going to scale up their dungeon run and puzzle lab experiences to match a $20 price tag. But boy did they deliver, and the Dalaran Heist stands as the pinnacle of single-player content that Hearthstone has to offer.
It's a genius plan! It's simple! It should have been obvious! And absolutely nothing will go wrong.
The Dalaran Heist has you joining the League of Evil, a corrupt conglomerate of previous adventure and set villains led by Reform, the supreme archaeologist. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to cause chaos and mayhem, buying Dr. Boom just enough time to literally strap rockets to the floating city of mages and steal it out from under the Kirin Tor and the Blue Dragonflight. The heist leans heavily on the lessons learned from the previous single-player content, the Rumble Run, and now that I mention it, I don't think I ever published my review of that, so I'll be right back. Okay, so quick and dirty review of the Rumble Run, the single-player content associated with Rashtakan's Rumble. 1. The totem mechanic is excellent and gives the player a lot of dynamic opportunities both for deck building and battling against the AI. 2. Until the Dalaran Heist, it also told the best story, with a classic tournament underdog fighting for gold and glory in the gladiatorial combat of Gurubashi Arena. 3. By leaning even harder into randomized roguelike elements, the Rumble Run ironically undercut its own replayability by throwing out the record-keeping tools persistent in older content. I give the Rumble Run an "Are you not entertained?" out of 5. It's also kind of weird that I reviewed 5 different single-player modules for Hearthstone without a review of the game proper, but now back to a regularly scheduled review. The Dalaran Heist consists of 5 chapters, each with their own mechanical twist. They range from something as simple as extra bosses to something as major as swapping every minion's attack and health. Crucially, these mechanical twists are symmetrical, so you and the AI will be operating under the same restrictions. For example, the first chapter sees you helping King Togwaggle in raiding the Dalaran Bank. At the start of the game, your opponent has a 0-3 cache of cash minion in play with Death Rattle, give each player 2 coins. Suddenly a whole new array of questions need to be answered during the run. Do I try to go for the coins early to gain a tempo advantage? Do I wait to open the chest until I know I can abuse the 2 coins for a guaranteed win? What if my opponent counters with something bigger and badder and now I don't have any cards in hand left to answer it? Do I build my deck around the coins, or do I build my deck to ignore them entirely, denying my opponent the treasures inside? It's a wonderful array of tensions, and it's even better with certain enemy hero power interactions like Banker Biggs Invest or Mo Einwhisker's Street Smarts. Only the 5th chapter has a relatively straightforward twist to 4 additional bosses, but even extending the run by 50% means that you have more opportunities to visit my favorite new mechanic, the Tavern. The Tavern is a special in-between encounter that lets you modify your deck in random and unique ways. It's the only time during the run when you're given the opportunity to remove cards from the deck, and it allows you to further customize your cards in powerful ways, like guaranteeing that the card starts in your hand or reducing the casting cost. I love this new feature because it really leans into the dungeon run's original strengths, making all your wildest Hearthstone dreams come true. The Dalaran Heist also builds off the previous Rumble Run content in a few key ways. First, Blizzard further improved the Rumble Run storytelling reforms by bringing back some of the production values of the old adventure content. This does wonders for selling out encounter motivations and relationships, and gives the Dalaran Heist a very irreverent and fun tone. It's not got much in the ways of themes or anything, but it does feel like an episode of a Saturday morning cartoon where the bad guys finally get their day, and you're kind of excited to see where the things go from there. On top of that, the Dalaran Heist is able to solve the Rumble Run's lack of replayability by iterating on the Monster Hunt's use of unique hero powers. Meeting special requirements like equipping a certain number of weapons or summoning a certain number of demons will unlock special hero powers for each class. Some of them provide novel utility while others can be directly built around, but they all provide new ways to play the original 9 classes. Beating 5, 10, and then 15 bosses will also unlock new starter decks, further opening up all kinds of strategies. Even better, the game not only keeps track of which henchmen you've beaten any particular chapter with, but also which hero power as well as which starting deck. Couple that with the new heroic and anomaly modes for each chapter, and you've got a deep well of content with exploring far beyond the basic reward unlocks. And the rewards themselves are pretty good. Beating every chapter of the Dalaran Heist on normal and heroic will reward you a total of 15 Riders of Shadows card packs, a single golden classic pack, and 2 card backs. That's a good deal for $20, but not so much for 2,800 gold. If you're like me and you can't actually spare the money, you'll need to ask if 5 more roguelike adventures are worth it. For me it is, but if you're grinding away to build your collection to more smoothly climb the ladder, then you're probably better off investing that gold into the arena. Of course, that's entirely up to you and your priorities. I love the core gameplay of the dungeon run, and the innovations of the Dalaran Heist brings to the table kicks things up a notch. Blizzard really knocked it out of the park with this one, and I'm both excited and terrified for the single player content they'll release next. I give the Dalaran Heist a Dr. Boom out of 5.